Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another video. Okay, I'm not sure when this video will be edited, but I'm filming it right after the archtop video. So this is like part 2 in this mini series. For the background on this overall Headless series project, you can go and check out part 1. Link will be in the cards. That was the more traditionally inspired take on the Headless theme. And while there are a lot of similarities, this flat top was designed to be the more modern counterpart. Let's take a closer look. And before we get into the meat of it, I'd love to give a shout out to Damien de los Reyes and the rest of the amazing patrons that make this content possible and keep the channel going. I've mentioned in a few previous videos I'm bringing on a video editor. They're not cheap, but I want to free up more time to do stuff like the ridiculous project builds, but still want to make sure you get the weekly gear demo and Agufish and all that stuff that you're already subscribed for. All the Patreon money goes towards paying the team. I don't make anything off it, in case you were wondering. It all goes towards making bigger and better content, and you get bonus perks, like tabs to every demo track, like the one you just heard. So if you want to join the Patreon community as well and support the expansion of the channel, link is in the cards. And now, let's get into this video. I said it in part 1, but just in case this is the first one you're seeing, I wasn't sure whether I was going to make these videos. The reason being, Harley Benton does have me on retainer to help design a limited number of specialty guitars, and this Headless project was one of the first they had me on. I wasn't sure whether I was going to make these videos since I was directly involved, but when I asked you, you told me it might be cool to get some background information other sources might not have, and it might be nice to get a comparison between the initial paper concept and how it actually turned out. I thought that was a great idea, but I also want to make sure that the full disclosure is out there. So there it is, and with that said, let's get into it. So as I explained in the previous video, Dullahan is the name of the Headless Horseman in Irish mythology. Makes sense. What doesn't make sense is his irrational fear of gold. Like, I don't know about you, but when I think of Irish folklore, I think of leprechauns and gold, and this dude is basically the opposite of that. Weird. Regardless, this is the final prototype before the guitar went into production, so there are some things with this particular unit that I'll point out when we come to them. So the biggest difference on paper between this flat top and the more traditionally focused arch top is the construction woods. While the AT has a mahogany body with a carved maple top, this FT has a beveled alder body. So already when you pick the two up next to each other, this one's a lot sleeker, a lot more modern. That's also helped by the tummy cut on the back for comfort, even though honestly the two weigh about the same. There are a couple of finish things you might have noticed from the B-roll. I don't know if they picked it up during the photo shoot or during shipping. Again, since these are just prototypes and they aren't meant to go to customers, they're just kind of like whatever. Instead of an ebony board, we thought that was too much darkness for one guitar, We gave it a maple fingerboard on the bolt-on maple neck, and honestly, I thought that I would like the look of the archtop better, but actually, I think I kind of prefer this flat top. It's just sleek and really mean looking, like a stealth plane with a maple board. Now, in this one, there aren't any Harley Benton logos anywhere. We had a tough time trying to decide where to put it without it looking awkward. So on the final production version that you can get right now, the logo is laser engraved into the black backplate, and it's very subtle. On this prototype, it's even more subtle because it's blank. Another random difference between this and the archtop version that I just noticed, the output jack. On the archtop, it's like embedded into the body. On this, it's a square jack plate. I have no idea why, so don't ask. We move. For hardware, it features the same Korean WSC hardware as the archtop. That was one of the keys for greenlighting this project, was making sure that there was high quality, affordable hardware to make a solid headless guitar, but still have it fall into mod project territory when it came to price point. So as soon as WSC came out with this, it was like, okay, we can make a headless now. And there have been a lot of questions about how it works. So it's literally just the strings go through the cylinders, and then the ends screw to tighten or loosen the string for tuning. That's it. Super simple. The strings are locked down on the other end next to the shelf, which means that you need an Allen wrench to change the strings, which the Dullahans do come with. Like, could you imagine if they didn't? What a troll. And I mentioned this on the archtop video, but the shelf is a little high. It's still plenty functional, but restringing does get a bit cramped. Also, at this sideways angle with the tuners so close to each other, I don't find it as comfortable as tuning pegs on a headstock. So that's a bit annoying, but with this system, you can use normal strings, which is a huge advantage because it's something you couldn't do with a lot of headless guitars before. Graphtec nut. At this point, I've run out of good nut jokes, or even bad nut jokes, but this is not a bad nut. This is a good nut, permanently lubricated. Graphtec is my favorite source for good nuts. Spoke wheel truss adjustment, which is super convenient to fix any of that on the fly. As I mentioned in the archtop video, we changed that because before there was just this big friggin' hole at the end of the neck here, and it looked really, really dumb. So the spoke wheel just made more sense in more ways than one. Stainless steel frets, which we thought was really important to have on this guitar. The thing that I really like about the Pro Series Harley Bentons is that they're like pre-built mod platforms. You can always swap out the pickups or whatever and make it your own. Installing stainless steel frets after the fact is not as painless. And that's not really something people would do on a $400 guitar anyways, so we wanted to make sure that was a standard feature on this one. There's also a lower horn cutaway and shaved neck heel for easy upper fret access, not your traditional block. The neck is a modern C, and the 14-inch radius fingerboard has rolled edges. I mean, it just feels really good. Nothing like what you'd expect a neck on a $400 guitar to feel like. In fact, even the fingerboard has a satin finish, so it feels a little smoother than even the ebony on the carved top version. Then the pickups are the same as in the archtop version, the Roswell HAF Alneca 5 humbuckers. Now the one that I have here, being that it's a late stage prototype, it's actually wired differently to the production models. Now the one that I have here, being that it's the final prototype, even though it looks the same and it was used in the photo shoot for the website photos, it's actually wired differently to the production models. The archtop was a prototype too. It was wired with a 3-way switch and a single push-pull pot to split both humbuckers. This one, for whatever reason, is even different to that. It's got the same 3-way switch, but 2 push-pull pots to split each humbucker individually. And then the production versions have a 5-way switch for quick and easy access to the most commonly used pickup configurations. Those being bridge, split outer coils, middle humbucker, neck humbucker reverse phased, and neck humbucker. So I'll be running through all the tones that this guitar is capable of, but just be aware that the production versions have different tone options. The reverse phase neck humbucker in particular is a big miss on this prototype. I'm running this through the Peavey with Glenn Fricker's Mesa 4x12 IR for dirty, then the Marshall with a Tweed 2x12 IR for the clean. So yeah, color me surprised. Cards on the table when they gave me this project, they told me we're gonna do a headless. I wasn't so into it, it's not my thing, but as soon as I saw the first prototypes and I saw the excitement on the faces of people who picked them up to play them, it was like, okay, we've got something here. And as it turns out, I like them way more than I thought I would. This one in particular. Just in general, stainless steel frets on a $400 headless, I mean, that's not bad at all. The Dullahans are basically lightweight, streamlined, pre-built headless mod platforms to make your own. Then just swap out the pickups to whatever you want. And actually I have a surprise for anyone who made it this far in the video. A small company out of Nashville called Runway Audio hit me up and asked if I'd like to try one of their premium hand soldered cables. And I've been using one regularly for the last couple weeks and it's really good. It's got a very high quality feel, the connections are great, the color, I love it. And the outer wire braid is amazing. The cable doesn't get tangled. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and we've decided to give a couple of these premium cables away. All you need to do, be subscribed to this channel, follow me and Runway Audio on Instagram, links will be in the description. We'll announce 2 winners in a week. So if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit the like button. These are of course just my opinions and I'd love to know what you think, so let me know in the comments. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't already, that actually really helps out. Thanks to Toman for the opportunity and to Luke for mixing everything. Social media, merch, and Discord server links are in the description as always. Thanks so much for watching, you've been awesome, and I'll see you for the next video.